Yo, look at this. Look at the bull. Look at the craziness that they're just it's just it's just direct. It's just direct. Direct racism. Okay? It's direct. There's nothing to hide, right? IKEA thought it was okay. IKEA thought it was all right to play around during Juneteenth. This is why I tell people to do their history. Do your history, and not only do your history, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of what you might find. Don't be afraid of what you might find because there's a lot of racism in the world. That's a lot. It is. It's a lot of racism in the world, and unfortunately, uh, one of the issues that we are seeing right now um, is even in a pandemic when you would expect people to stick together because of the oppression or the unanswered questions from a government who's supposed to be democratic and protective of the people, along with the police, aka slave catchers. Um, it's just very scary for people right now of all races, of all colors and backgrounds and nationalities and cultures. It's just very scary for people. So to see that racism will still prevail, even in our country's most depressive moments. I mean, don't get me wrong. We didn't see 100 million people die. We didn't have a third of our population depleted from virus. But we did have a small percentage of our population depleted. I mean, whether we have 330 million people and only 1 million people die, it's still a lot of people. And don't quote me on that. I don't know what the exact. I don't know what the exact numbers are. I can't give you the exact numbers. It could be 100,000, but either way, we have 330 million plus people in this country, and during this pandemic, what has it been? I want to say, to be honest with you, we've only been in this for 15 months. I know that I don't want to use the word only, but we've only been in it for 15 months. Um, Give me a second, real quick. Let me just look something up. Sometimes things of this nature, of this magnitude, when there's race involved, you can't really just jump. I can't just jump into the article and just. It's bigger than just what IKEA is doing. But IKEA is now facing backlash after one of their stories in Atlanta, one of their stores, I'm sorry, put fried chicken and watermelon as its item on the menu for employees for Juneteenth. Reports noted that the company allegedly sent out an email last week to employees saying to honor the perseverance of Black Americans and acknowledge the progress yet to be made, they would be putting together a special menu for Juneteenth, a celebration to commemorate the end of slavery. However, the menu contained fried chicken and watermelon, a combo tied to racist stereotypes, as we know. And there were other items as well, which I believe they listed. But as a result of the email, the backlash led to 20 employees calling out of work. The word got around the store and reached the store manager, who ultimately issued an apology email. Following that, the menu for the Juneteenth meal was changed, and the items in question were replaced with meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and cornbread. An anonymous employee who spoke to CBS 46 said, quote, you cannot say serving watermelon on Juneteenth is a soul food menu when you don't even know the history. They used to feed slaves watermelon during slavery. And this is another thing I need you guys to understand. That's what I need you guys to understand. It wasn't only watermelon. Everything that we eat, the main foods, I want to say the main because you have different cultures. So, um, the main foods that we lay out on that Thanksgiving table were foods that were fed to us as slaves. It was all the leftovers, the slop. We ate with the animals. We ate with the pigs. Cornbread, macaroni and cheese, watermelon, chicken. This is stuff that they fed the slaves. They fed the slaves like animals, like savages. Gave them slop. And granted, of course, we grew up on this. We love this food. It's delicious. It's amazing. All of this, it's amazing. But to be honest with you, this is just not good for you. It's not. They say soul food, but I mean, yams, okay, high in protein. All right, high in protein, very high in sugar. Macaroni and cheese, oily. Cheese is no good for you. Can clog you up, back you up. The greens, greens is probably the healthiest thing on the plate. High in vitamin K, high in fiber. The darker it is, the more fiber, the more vitamin K it has. But then when we add bacon, when we add oil, when we fry it, when we add neck bones and turkey, it changes everything. I understand, but it's neither here nor there. The racism that is in this country. Just be aware. I just like people being aware. You know, I was raised colorblind, but very much aware. I was raised colorblind, but very much aware because my, my parents are hardworking individuals. My my father, um, love him to death, man. I was talking to him the other day, Father's Day, and you know, one thing I noticed about my dad is very much so a man who works hard, he minds his business, he does believe in helping people. Doesn't matter who you are, he believes in helping. But my father is very much aware and honest with himself when it comes to oppression in this country for blacks, when it comes to racism in this country for blacks. My father is very, very honest with himself. He's very honest with people. Um, and my father has been in a position to work um, for a company who actually serves courtrooms. They serve courtrooms uh, throughout the week. So my dad is constantly interacting with judges, lawyers, DAs, police officers, school crossing guards, teachers, principals, you name it. So many people coming across my father because of the work that he's been doing for the over the past 2.5, close to 3 decades now. He's been working, um, doing this specific job. And when it comes to my mom, on the other hand, she, 2 jobs over 20 years, one 30, one 30, 31 years, 3 decades in one job, over 2.5 decades on another. My mom, you know, working around community. The entire town or county knows her. So she's interacting with people in a supermarket environment. This is a woman who has to ring your stuff up, count the registers because she's the district manager, go and get money from the truck count money from the safe. This is a woman they gave these responsibilities to. So once again, I was raised colorblind. Shout out to the Tobito family, Gabby, Danny, Adriana, Mr. and Mrs. Tobito. Shout out to the Gannon family, Patrick Gannon, his sisters, the mom, the father. I was raised around Italians. I ate dinner with them. Gabby braided my hair while the mom is in the kitchen cooking pasta. The father's doing his work. The brother's sitting there laughing and running around. I was raised around amazing people. So to think that racism is so prevalent, even during the pandemic, it just sucks, man. It sucks because there's really good people out there. There's really good people out there. Good people. I was raised with good people. And like I said, I was raised colorblind. I was from uh, Rockland County, New York, Nyack Valley Cottage, Spring Valley. I mean, you name it. I've anytime my mother felt like, hey, listen, I don't like this neighborhood. We're out of here, and they weren't necessarily bad neighborhoods. I'm out of here. That's just how she was. But it just sucks to see that racism is so strong, even when the country is in a depressive state like this, even when people are dying because of a virus that people still have so many unanswered questions for. Why is it that no one can stick together? It's why, why, why? Why do we have to deal with this? Why do we have to go to work and deal with racism? You know? Why? I feel like if black people decided to just say, hey, we're not going to work, or we're going to take a break, we're going to stop. If black people stopped doing what they do on a daily basis, if black people stopped going to work for 5 days in this entire country, if every black person said, you know what, I'm not going to work today for a good 5 days, let's say 2 weeks, Monday through Friday, weekends are off, and then another Monday through Friday with both of those weekends off. If black people decided to do that, just 2 weeks, I want to say a week, but it might take two, maybe a month. We're not going to do no longer than a month. But if we did that, I and I want to say we. I'm saying we. I'm saying we. I'm putting myself in this because I am a part of this country. Even though I am a private contractor, even though I am an independent businessman, I still add myself to the equation because, of course, I am me. I can't change who I am. I can't change my skin color. But if I stopped accepting work from clients for 2 weeks, it wouldn't affect me anyway. But if nine to fivers, all the nine to fiving black people that are on the workforce in the United States said, you know what, we're not going to go to work for 2 weeks to a month, I guarantee you there would be some type of change. There would be some type of respect shown. I'm not saying that that stops racism, but it puts a certain type of mark on the world to let people know that yes, we are oppressed. Yes, we are in a crazy situation. Yes, our people have been struggling, are struggling, and will continue to struggle if we don't fight for what we deserve, which is our respect. If we did that, I, I'm almost sure that it would shake up the country. I'm almost sure that it would shake up the country. And I mean every black person in the workforce. I don't just mean the regular, I mean every black person from the courts all the way down. If every black individual, male, female, teenagers, stop doing everything you're doing for the company you're doing it for the court you're doing it for. If you're a lawyer, if you're whatever, you stop doing it for at least 2 weeks. And I almost feel for sure that people would appreciate us more. And if not appreciate, they would acknowledge how important it is for those black individuals who are in the positions they are they would realize how important it is for those people to uphold those positions and maintain them. Why it's so important that these people are doing what they do, because this is unnecessary. Watermelon and fried chicken on the menu, Ikea, blatant disrespect. Love, life, and loyalty is the motto. Stay safe, stay real, and stay true. And as always, if you follow me, I follow you. Peace out.